Let's briefly transition to review mode and talk about covariance. Remember, covariance is an index of the strength of association between two variables. And so we can see this depicted in the scatter plots there. There are three of them. On the far right, we have the strong negative covariance. In the middle, looks like zero covariance. And then at the right, there's a large positive covariance. And so I like to think about these scatter plots as giving us a picture of what the relationship looks like, and specifically if those points adhere closely together around the line, they hug the line, they love the line, then that means that the relationship is strong. If they don't hug the line and they don't seem like they like the line as much and they're more diffused, as in the middle, then that means that the relationship is weaker. So that's a good way to kind of visualize things and what's going on. So covariance is kind of interesting because it is tied to the units of measurement in your study, so those specific metrics. For example, if you are doing a study and you measure things in millimeters, so very tiny measurement of space, then you will have a very, very large covariance. However, if you are doing the same study, but you're using like meters as your measurement, you'll have a smaller covariance. So it's tied to the metrics in that sense. And so it's not very useful to compare across studies. So if you have one study doing millimeters, one study doing yards, and one study doing kilometers, if you compare covariances across those studies, you will see that you can't really do that because it's tied to that metric. So we need to have a way to standardize, and that standardization just means that we are computing new indices of the association between two variables or the variance, but we're going to do it in a way that we can compare across all those studies, because everything's going to be the frame of reference is going to be the mean of the study, so of the data in each particular study. So we're going to talk about everything as in the sense that it is very distant or close to that study's mean, and that way it just makes things easier to compare. So the frame of reference will change. So covariance in and of itself is not useful. The reason that I want you to know what it is because it's the foundation of correlation, and the way that you standardize a covariance, well, we'll get to that in the next slide, but the standardized covariance is the correlation. So once you have the covariance, it's really easy to convert to an R.